Hello, it's Jay here and welcome to another tutorial. Here's where we'd left off in the last lesson. We'd actually got the scripting in place to make our enemy move. So let's come to our scene. I'm just going to deactivate that game object. And if we come towards the enemy, as you can see, he now rotates and moves towards us. And I'll just stop that there a moment. But as you can see, I've actually put a cube into the scene and I've just stretched it out to create a barrier. So let's play the game again now. So we'll move towards the enemy. He moves towards us, but as you can see, when he hits the this little wall I've made, he still keeps running. Now it would be nice if the enemy ever got stuck behind a wall or maybe a fence like this here in the background, that he switched to an idle animation until he's able to move towards the player again. So that's what we're going to handle in this lesson. So we'll start by coming here just below where we tell the enemy controller to move. And the first thing we need to do is create a float, and we'll give it a naming convention of _dist for distance. And this is going to be equal to vector3 dot, and we want distance. And we'll open and close brackets, we'll close the line off, and we'll come inside the brackets. So we'll say _player dot position, comma, transform dot position. And as always, straight into the comments. So we'll say _dist equals the distance the player is away from the enemy game object. So we create a float and give it a naming convention of _dist. We want a vector3, a point in 3-dimensional space. We want the distance of the player position and its transform dot position. And we'll come just below here. So we'll say if open brackets _ enemy controller dot velocity dot magnitude. We'll use the less than symbol, _ enemy run speed times 0.3 f. We'll say and twice _dist, and we'll use the greater than symbol, _ attack radius. We'll close brackets there. Now let's go through this line. We're saying if the enemy controller and its velocity and magnitude is less than the enemy run speed. So if the enemy controller is moving less than the enemy run speed times 0.3 f that we're using as a little bit of a buffer, then and the distance is greater than attack radius. So if the enemy controller is moving slower than enemy run speed, we want to switch to the idle animation, but we certainly don't want to do it if it's ran into the player. So this will prevent the enemy going to an idle animation if it hits the player. Instead, it will still go to attack once we get that code in place. So we can open brackets there and we'll close. And we'll come inside these brackets here and we can just copy this line of code where we set the run animation, and we'll just paste that in there. But we're not going to change to run, we're going to switch it out and we're going to switch to the idle animation. And we'll just switch out the comments. So we'll say crossfade in the idle animation. And then we'll come here and we'll say else, open brackets, and we can just leave this line of code in place. So I'll just bring it in one, enter, and we'll close brackets. And I'll just bring the comment back into line. And we just need to put in a comment for this line of code. So we'll say, let's say, if enemy is moving at a speed that is less than run speed, but player is not in the attack radius, then we want to crossfade in the idle animation, else we'll just go to the run animation. And we'll save that off there. We'll downsize monodevelop and we'll test this out. So now when the enemy hits this barrier I've created here, he should switch back to the idle animation. So let's move towards him slowly. So he's in his idle state. We'll move to hit run. And as you can see, he originally, as soon as he switched to the run state, started to play the run animation. But once he hit this barrier, he switched to his idle. And if we come over the barrier, now he will start to move towards us again. So let's just stop that there. And we'll leave it there for this lesson. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. And until then, bye for now.